Good evening, fellow designers. How are you? Welcome to Switzerland and welcome to my game. Randomized 6-die chess with decors and castles where to put the 1/over pieces on. Let me explain to you how the game works. Each piece has got a value under which, a value that you can see better like this, a value under which if the specific die is thrown, the piece doesn't move. So let me show you. For example, I want to move a pawn. So I touch the pawn and I throw a test die. And if it's lower than 2, as you can see, the pawn corresponds to the green spots. There's 8 green spots, to the green dice. If it's lower than 2, I can't move the die. If it's higher, I can. I throw the die. I got a 2. It's equal to 2 or lower than 2, therefore I can't move the die. So I choose another pawn to move. This one here, to the right of the queen. I throw the die. I got a 6. I can move the pawn. I move the pawn of 1 step. Now I skip the whites and I imagine that the white have played. Now I want to test the queen. The queen needs a 7. That is, if at the row of the die there is a result of 7 or less, the queen can't move. I throw the die. 8. There's a higher result than 7. The queen can move. I move the queen. Trying to do checkmate. I imagine that the white has moved its white pawn of 2, just for imagining sake. I again test the queen. I touch the queen, saying that I want to move her, and I test her again. I got a 5. It's less than 7. I shake the queen to show that I can't move it. I test the white plays, imagining. Now I test the queen again. I got a 7. It's just too high to allow me to move. I shake the queen to move to show that I can't move her. Now I test imagining that white has moved. I test the horse. The horse, I try the die. I got a 8. 8 is higher than 3, therefore I can move the horse. I imagine that I'm allowed to move the horse again. Let's try anyway. Yeah, 8, it is higher. So I'm allowed to eat the pawn with the horse. I eat the pawn with the horse, and I take the pawn and I put it in my castle with the pawns. Imagining that I eat also the next pawn, I put the next pawn in my castle with the pawns. Imagining that I eat the bishop, just imagining that I pass the test with the horse and I eat the bishop, I put the bishop in a yellow spot. I put the bishop in a yellow spot corresponding to the yellow die. Here it's orange because I masked the yellow die. The yellow spots, which represents the bishop. Thank you very much for your show, for seeing the show. And also I want to show you that if I want to make more points, I can sacrifice one of my pieces, for example, a little pawn, which will allow me to move the tower, and I bring it with in my castle, and eventually there could be an opportunity to make a further game of white against black pawns in my castle. Thank you very much. Bye. Good night. Good night from Switzerland. Here is the game. Nothing has been won by white. No black piece have been won by white. Therefore, white's castle is empty. Here we see that some white pieces have been won by black. Therefore, there are in black's castle, and one black sacrificed one of his pawns for pointage sake. Here is the game, and thank you very much.